Quiet. You're very disrespectful in front of this young man. Okay? Don't you find her disrespectful? He understands. Quiet. Who are you with?
I'm with CNN.
Fake news. You're fake news. You're a loud, boisterous person. You're fake news. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. You're a fake reporter, and you report fake news. Go ahead.
Shocker, Trump attacking yet another female reporter. It's so obvious that he is clearly intimidated by strong women, and he doesn't like when reporters, particularly women, ask him tough questions that he doesn't have a good answer for. During this exchange, he was attacking CNN reporter Kristen Holmes because earlier in the press conference, she had asked him a question that clearly struck a nerve with him. She asked him about Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff's remarks about Trump's close relationship with his aide, Natalie Hart. She then went on to try to ask him a question about Kim Jong-un, and this is what resulted. He insulted and belittled her, all because it seems like that previous question got under his skin a little bit. And the White House Rapid Response account even went as far as tweeting this at her. They said that Kristen Holmes is a disgraceful, humiliating embarrassment to her alleged profession. And then they said, someday your children will come across your disgusting and inhumane question. They will be sickened and embarrassed to have a parent be so callous and vindictive. It's quite troubling. You know what's disgusting and inhumane? Bringing this reporter's perfectly innocent children into this scenario. Because guess what? She asked the president point blank about a criticism that came from a Democratic senator. That is a perfectly legitimate question. And this response from them is way more, infinitely more callous and vindictive than anything she asked. So to the people running this account, and I guess basically anyone who works at the White House, you should be sickened and embarrassed to work for an 80-year-old man-child who resorts to attacking and belittling female reporters when they have the audacity to ask him a question he doesn't like.
Is it me, or do the commander-in-chief, chief, only speak to women like this? Why is every news station fake news if they don't agree with his agenda? Why is every news station fake news if it won't report the shit they won't report it? Seems like Donnie, old boy, don't want to answer the hard, tough questions. But you know how I feel about the situation. Inquiring minds want to know, how many times has he done this shit? Don't worry, it's so many videos out there. We can run clips after clips after clips of this shit. Count me out.
Now, watching these clips, it's hard not to notice how quickly the conversation changes when Trump doesn't like the question being asked. Instead of answering directly, the reporter gets interrupted, called fake news, or told to be quiet. And honestly, this raises an important question. Why does disagreeing with the president automatically make someone fake news? A journalist's job is to ask tough questions, even when those questions are uncomfortable. You don't have to agree with every reporter, but when every difficult question is dismissed simply because it challenges your agenda, people are naturally going to question that response. And this isn't something we've seen just once. So stay tuned as we bring other similar clips for you to watch, and when we come back, we'd like to know your response.
I know I'm supposed to believe that God has a plan. But what do you mean that plan includes taking Hayden Panettiere when that piece of shit is right there? He is right there, God. Because the audacity of this man to sit here and berate yet another female reporter when he is personally responsible for the collapse of this country. Most recently, our food supply. I am now at the point of this man's presidency where I can literally say he makes me sick. Literally. I recently fell victim to one of the many food illnesses that are out there right now thanks to Donald Trump and all his, regulation cutting. But since I'm a forever optimist and I try to find the silver lining in things, it seems to be the safest thing we can ingest in this country is alcohol. Turns out taking a lot of money in donations from big food companies who are just trying to cut costs by cutting back on safety isn't a good idea. Like, I know Maha had the goal of getting everyone in this country to lose weight, but I highly doubt doing it through things like salmonella and E. coli is the way to go. I mean, your case study was in front of you the whole time. Donald Trump shits his pants on a daily basis, and he hasn't lost a fucking pound since, has he? Unless the true plan was to get everyone in the United States and around him not to notice when he does it, because then everyone else is doing it too. It's cool to shit in your pants. But if you thought that was the most unhinged part of his press conference, you would be wrong. For a man that comes out of here and lies to the American people every single day, you'd think he would have perfected making it less obvious.
Why hasn't Kim Jong-un responded to your request to have a conversation?
How do you know he hasn't responded?
Has he?
Yeah, he has.
No, he hasn't. You literally see the moment where he just goes, fuck it, I'll lie. I mean, not even Bill Clinton took that long of a pause when he said, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. What was the internal battle that you were having in that moment? Is that guy gonna nuke us over a little lie? The answer is yes, probably. Well, at least I got through this video without puking my brains out, which says a lot considering the topic.
Now, my question has never gotten answered when it comes to those journalists that are in the White House trying to ask Trump a question. For example, today, on Monday, August 17th, a CNN journalist was trying to ask Trump a question in regard to Kim Jong-un, and he's constantly yelling at her to be quiet. Be quiet. For one, she's there to do a job, and all of the journalists in that room are yelling out, trying to get their questions answered. But again, him being rude, baby, can none of the other journalists speak up and tell that man, that's rude? Again, you can check a person respectfully. You can check a person respectfully. So y'all can't say nothing? You can't say anything. Because, baby, at this point, I'm starting to think, are y'all complicit too? It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
3 things happened in the last 24 hours that should worry every single American. A tanker disabled in the Strait of Hormuz, diesel prices breaking a record no one saw coming, and a president who spent his day hunting for validation from a 10-year-old boy. Let's start with the part he does not want you to see. Yesterday, in the Oval Office, a reporter asked Donald Trump one basic question. Why is he siding with North Korea's dictator over South Korea, a democratic ally for decades? Instead of answering, he turned on her. He called her loud, disgraceful fake news and told her to be quiet twice in front of a 10-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl. Then he turned to that same 10-year-old and asked him directly, isn't she disrespectful? A sitting president asking a child to validate an attack on a journalist, it gets stranger. While the boy's 16-year-old lifeguard sat beside him, Trump complimented the boy's genetics, crediting his mother's looks on camera inside the Oval Office. That same day, the Supreme Court rejected Trump's emergency appeal, again to overturn the jury verdict, finding him civilly liable for sexual assault against E. Jean Carroll. Same day, same room. Salmon defending his behavior toward women by attacking a reporter for asking about it. While that played out, the economy quietly broke a record of its own. The U.S. diesel crack spread the profit margin refiners make hit an all-time high of $102 a barrel. Diesel jumped 10 to 12 cents a gallon in 24 hours. Soybean oil is up 15 cents a gallon. Retail diesel is projected to cross $5.50 a gallon this week. Regular gas is already over $4 a gallon nationwide. Crude oil is above $90 a barrel. And the Strategic Petroleum Reserve just hit an all-time low, 293.4 million barrels left. Farmers, mid-harvest, get hit first. Everyone else is next. Now here's why that reserve is draining so fast. Iran struck another tanker overnight in the Strait of Hormuz, a tanker that was following the U.S. designated route. At least one casualty is being reported. And Iran is not stopping there. Its military leadership says if Trump does not return to the original terms of the deal he broke, they are going on offense. Cutting the internet cables beneath the Strait of Hormuz, cutting off internet access for the entire Middle East, potentially seizing military bases in Kuwait and other Arab nations. That is not a regional threat anymore, that is a global one. So while the world's oil supply collapses and a foreign power threatens to shut down the internet for an entire region, the President of the United States spent his day promoting the moment he humiliated a reporter in front of children. On the same day, the Supreme Court reminded the country exactly why he has no standing to lecture anyone about respect. So tell me, when the diesel runs out, when the internet across the Middle East goes dark, and gas hits $5 a gallon, are we still going to be talking about a president's social media posts?
Donald Trump just had a tense exchange with a CNN reporter inside the Oval Office while a 6-year-old hero lifeguard was sitting right next to him. The reporter was simply trying to ask a follow-up question about whether Kim Jong-un had asked Trump to scale back joint military exercises with South Korea. Instead of answering, Trump repeatedly cut her off, told her to be quiet, and called her disrespectful in front of the young man. Then he looked at her and said, "You're a loud, boisterous person," before adding, "You're fake news." This was not a heated debate. This was the President of the United States using the presence of a teenage hero as background while shutting down a basic journalism question. The reporter never raised her voice. She never insulted anyone. She just tried to do her job. Trump's response was personal, aggressive, and completely avoided the actual question. A leader who needs to silence a reporter and brand her loud and fake just for asking a follow-up is not showing strength. He is showing how little tolerance he has for any scrutiny the moment it appears in front of cameras.
At the end of the day, I think leaders should be able to face with tough questions without immediately attacking or shutting down the person asking them. You can disagree, yes, with a journalist, challenge their reporting, or correct something you believe is actually wrong. But constantly labeling reporters as fake news doesn't actually answer the question. And if this behavior appears repeatedly, especially towards certain groups of journalists, then it's fair for people to question why. But that's just my take. I want to hear yours. Do you think Trump is simply pushing back against biased media, or has he gone too far with the way he treats reporters? Please drop your comments below. And if this is your first time here, please do make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one. Bye bye.